great job. We'll check back in with him for much more later in the show, but right now I've made it my way back into the kitchen here at Brother Shuckers in Carolina Forest. I'm joined by Chef Eddie. We've talked a lot about their famous crab cakes, so we're going to see how it's done. Eddie, are you ready to show us?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So tell us what you've got right here.
So I just got a little bit of bread filler. We use a raw breadcrumb that we blend up ourselves. Got to have some kind of filler in there. It kind of creates a stickiness. And this is our house-made Imperial.
And this is that special sauce. You are originally from Maryland, so when we say Maryland crab cakes, we certainly mean it, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I came up in Annapolis, worked in Baltimore, all up and down the Chesapeake Bay. So basically, we're just going to mix our Imperial in with a little bit of the breadcrumbs. Now, this is something that I do that kind of allows me to take some of that filler out. I use a finer crab. So then my crab actually acts as a filler that helps it get sticky. It's just really fine chopped up crab meat from when they're picking the crab.
I want you guys to see this. It looks absolutely amazing. When you bite into this, all you taste is crab, and this probably has a lot to do with it. Here, tell us what this is.
So this is more, robust crab meat. I use super lump crab meat that just gives us some nice chunks in there. This is really where a little finesse comes from, where once you get those lumps, they're so delicate. So you just want to kind of keep your fingers wide and just really, you gotta work it together, but a little too much pressure and they just fall apart, and now you've just wasted all of that great lumps.
I feel like that is a secret, guys. Take a look here at what he's doing here with his hands, just barely mixing it together because you want that crab to stay intact. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing, Chef Eddie.
Yeah, that's just some of the herbs and the seasonings in the that we put into the Imperial, just to kind of bring a little vibrance to the crab meat. We really want everything that we do here and that I like to do. I like to add just a little back end flavor to accentuate the flavors of the proteins that we're using. Spend a lot of time sourcing out really nice proteins and want to just make them sing. I don't want to necessarily put together a bunch of stuff that tastes like seasonings. I want it to taste like the crab, taste like the sea bass, taste like the grouper that we're using, that we really do take a good amount of time to source some great protein.
Now those crab cakes Chef Eddie just made are in the oven, so we cannot wait to give those a try. But we are moving on to bigger and I don't know about better, but possibly better things here with the sea bass. Chef Eddie, tell us what you're up to over here.
Well, I'm just going to clean down some Chilean sea bass that I got in. It's one of our higher end items on the menu. Sea bass is just a great flavored fish. It really accepts flavors. It's not a fishy fish. Just a wonderful, wonderful protein to work with. I've got I get all my fish. I get my fish in fresh. Source it from different purveyors. Right now, I just got this in yesterday.
You make this look so easy, Chef Eddie. Look at this. I would butcher this if I tried to do this. So obviously years of experience here. But this actually has a unique history. Tell us a little bit about the history of this fish.
So the term Chilean sea bass was actually a marketing term. It's actually a cod. The Chilean sea bass is a cod. It's a sharp-toothed cod. It comes, it's a deep water fish. A gentleman was down just trying to source out some new fish, and he ran across it. He was walking around in Chile on the docks and asked people what this fish was, and they're like, "Oh, that's just some fish we throw away."
Wow. Oh my gosh. And it's so good. And you mentioned to me in the 80s, this actually made its way to fish sticks, which I know in the 80s, I ate fish sticks like they were going out of style. So tell us a little bit about that. I think that's kind of a unique history because this really is kind of a delicacy.
The gentleman was trying to figure out a way to market the fish and get it out there. He saw a great great potential in what he could sell it for. And so the first thing, I guess in the early to mid 80s, there was a halibut shortage. So this was picked up, and the first use of the Chilean sea bass in this country was in fish sticks of all things. You go to a restaurant and you're like, oh, that's a $40 piece of fish, and like that's something I do buy when I go out. I love Chilean sea bass. It's just such a fresh, vibrant fish, and to think that it made its start in fish sticks of all things.
So look at these chunks of meat, guys, that you can enjoy here at Brother Shuckers. Tell me how you serve this real quick, Eddie.
So the sea bass, we go ahead and we pan sear it, salt and pepper, a little bit of butter basting just to bring out the natural butteriness of the fish. Finish it in the oven, do a nice clean presentation, a little bit of mango salsa, and some rice pilaf. Just very clean, delicate flavors that all seem to work just incredibly together. So
cannot wait to try that, guys. Stay with us. We're going to check it out after he finishes this masterpiece, but stay with us.